Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, Senior Editor over at the Koalition.com.
And I'm Josh Lamage, writer for the Koalition.
And we are back with Mayor of Kingstown, Season 4, Episode 3, People Who Died. And a lot of people died in this one. Some we care about, some we don't care about. But there was death. There was definitely a lot of death here. A lot going on in this episode. I feel like it was setting things up for what's happening for the rest of the season. It's a 10-episode season. So they have time. They have time to fill in because there's some things, and we'll discuss that, like, what was the point? Like the whole Ian and Robert bringing him home, driving him home, getting him water. It's like something
was going to happen.
Yeah, I still think something's going to happen. I still think there's a setup. Something's going on there. But hey, that's what's going on. But what else? I want to give some shout outs to John Lee. Thanks again for putting the comments. He's a lot of people, and he brought this up, think that Nina Hobbs is corrupt, that she's behind all of this with Torres.
100%.
Whoa, slow your roll, Turbo. No, I don't think that. I think Torres is definitely corrupt, but I don't think Nina knows any of that stuff. I mean, right from that last scene of her in the car and she's popping pills, handshake, she puts the gun out. She's paranoid. She's got other things going on in her head. She plays the cool, calm, collective, the boss, character.
Maybe she's a pawn for the cartel.
That's deep. Yeah, if it's something like that, if there's some pressure, it could be, but I'm not seeing that. But hey, he's bringing that up. We got RB7. We've been going back and forth in the comments about what's going on with this show. And, 1 minute he agrees with you. He also agrees with me. We think Kyle's going to die. Kyle is definitely turning into a junkie. Things aren't going to get pretty for him. And I could see this being a major issue going forward with Kyle over there. And then what was it? First Due 55. Thank you for answering that question about the PAL. Police Athletic League. That's what that was called, that group that they put together for the kids. I remember Uncle Danny, he was a counselor. I used to go visit him. It was a little park that was on Mott Street over in Little Italy. And it was cool. I was just watching, getting these kids and putting them through the little drills, the little playground monkey bars.
Yeah, I used
and
to
all
play
that
soccer with them.
Yeah, those were the days, man. Those were the days. Go to Ralph's for some pizza. That's Original Ray's. People don't know that. Original Ray's is actually Ralph's. Ray came from Ralph, and then when it started his own thing, but it was all from Ralph. All right, but just want to give those shout outs. Thanks again for the comments, the likes, the subs, people following. Click the hype button. All of you, yeah, RB7 and John Lee. I want you to try something because I keep telling people this, and they're like, what are you talking about? Because I've done this. I click the hype on other friends' videos and content creators and stuff. Yeah, and did you get the email?
Did you get the YouTube email? No,
email. At the end of the week, YouTube will send you an email and it'll tell you what your hype did for the video and how it helped it grow. Very cool. It's different. It's definitely different than just clicking a little thumbs up. I'm like, all right, well, I gave it a thumbs up.
Did something.
Yeah, it actually shows you a percentage and what that your contribution of clicking the hype button actually did for the growth of the video. Just try, just putting it out there. You don't have to. I'm not one of those that's like, hey, do it. No. Don't do it. You do it when you like it. That's the way I feel. I watch content just like you guys. If I see something, I see these people are doing their thing. I was like, you know what? There you go. Support. No sweat off my back, right? Why not? But yeah, shout out to everybody that's been doing it, that's been following. It's been great. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Still have this one. Tulsa King still covering now with Lawrence. We got Spartacus covering with a guest. That's going to be fun. And then we got Landman, Billy Bob Thornton, and that starts up next week also. Yeah, Spartacus brought that up. Yeah, we got a lot going on. And then, of course, we got Fallout to end the year because that's coming toward the end of December. So that should be our whole year.
I didn't even know that was coming back.
That's cool. Oh, yeah. What do you mean it's coming back? I just went over to my local toy shop, and they already got a whole wall piece of Fallout stuff.
I did the Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, and they had the whole Fallout house.
Oh, Nice.
It was
Didn't they do a WWE thing too? I think they did the
Wyatt.
Fiend and the Wyatt. That's
the
cool.
Terrifier was cool. I did that one.
Oh, it's a Terrifier.
Anyways,
they had the Grabber. All right, one of them.
Oh, the Grabber would be cool.
Grabber
They did have the black phone booth at Orlando. So you could take pictures in the phone booth.
Nice.
My girlfriend was so sexy.
Phone booths used to be everywhere. That was the maybe you don't remember. That was it. Every other corner had a phone booth. There was no cell phones at the time, and then underneath there was a phone book, little casing, and you could take it out. And you could look people up and then just call them, or dial 1-800-collect. Remember that, people?
Back in my day.
This is how we did it. We didn't have no fancy cell phones.
All right.
There we go. Let's get into this.
Episode 3 of people who
died. Yep.
People who died for the mayor.
This is based on a true story, everybody. Get ready.
So the beginning sequence starts with a song by Marvin Gaye playing Trouble Man. And it's just showing everybody kind of, having a morning here in Kingston. So we got Cortez. I don't think we got a name for him yet, but
some people were saying it's Cortez,
Colombian hitman,
but hitman, Colombian hitman. Let's just go with that.
He's eating in a diner. He's just chilling. Yeah, he just killed Carney in the previous episode, but he's just chilling now.
Yeah, no stress.
Hopper's talking to the officers at the jail, talking about how Carney died and handing out envelopes.
Hobbs.
Yeah.
You're saying Hopper. You're thinking Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
You are jumping ahead.
Oh, man.
Everybody and their mother's going to be covering that. So that's why we are staying away from Stranger Things. That kicks off in like 2 weeks.
I have to think Hobbs and Shaw. I don't know why I wrote Hopper.
Yeah, exactly.
Hobbs is talking to the officers, telling them about the death and this whole thing. Camera pans on Cindy, kind of looking around, and it's kind of awkward in this room. Kevin is in his cell. He's battling his injuries. He's still
Kyle. Kevin is
Kevin is the other guy.
Kevin Jackson. Yeah, is the guard that works for Bunny. But there we go.
Dead right now.
He looks. I mean, this was the main thing though, right here. Just seeing this scene. If you guys are watching on YouTube, we have this image up of just seeing Kyle all drained out. But I just want to dwell on this a little bit, because if he's this banged up and the Nina Hobbs, the warden, said, "Hey, don't worry, Mike. I'm going to look after him. He's okay." Then bring him to infirmary. Take care of him. Do something. She's not doing anything. And clearly he's in pain. He's banged up. And what's that? The end result? Now he's just popping pills from Merle next door. So not a good look. This part's upsetting me. It just upsets me. Right.
I mean, he has no other outlet for this. He can't go.
But that's when he does. That's what I'm saying. It really comes down to Hobbs, and she's not watching over him. She knows that he got attacked. When she was like, "Oh, it was just a fight. Come on now." He was handcuffed and he got beat up. No, it wasn't a fight. Not a fair fight, at least. Whatever. All right.
We also have Mike and Ian standing over Carney's body as they cover him. And then the opening title starts.
Yeah. Nice, happy song, right? What a happy theme song. It's just moaning, right? I mean, that sets the tone for this entire series. There's nothing happy. I was telling other people before about this. They're like, "Oh, is it what kind of a comedy? A crime? What kind of crime show?" It's sad. It's morbid and sad.
I like how the intro, how everyone looks like they're doing the mugshot. So they do the front, and then they turn and do the side thing. Like each of them, even like the DA, everybody. So it's like
that's how I want to do my family portraits with the kids. That's the plan. I want to take my family pictures. We have
like
plans of taking it. Yep, just take it like mugshots. Just going through. Hey, if one of them ends up on the other bars, on the side of the bars in the future, then we're like, hey, we prepped. We prepped. We got this. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but hey, life throws all kinds of curveballs. But we could take those pictures. I do like that intro. That intro is pretty cool.
So the first scene has Mike visiting Kyle, and he's like, "Look, somebody took out Carney last night." And he's like, "Oh, geez." He's like, "What?" He's like, "How did it happen?" He's like, two in the chest, one in the head. And he's like, "Okay." Well, Kyle's like, "Was anything taken? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "No, nothing was taken." He goes, "But look, Kyle, I don't want you to worry." He's like, "Worry?" He's like, "This is the one guy that I had looking out for me got whacked. Like, what do you mean? Don't worry. Like, what am I supposed to do?" And he's like, "Look, I he's like, Mike, I have a really, really bad feeling. Like I feel helpless. Like I can't protect anything. Like I'm losing it. Like I can't get out of. And then Mike's like, look. You got to get out of your head. You gotta realize that you are protecting people. You're protecting me. You're protecting everybody from being in jail right now. Like you got to stay the course, and we'll get through this together.
And you know what's missing here? Kyle talking about his buddy, his cell buddy on his cell block that's providing the pills. No, he's not talking about it. He should bring that up. It's like, hey, there's this guy. I don't really know him. Seems like an older guy. Can you find out who's in the cell? Because he can't see him. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what he looks like. Just say, and remember, last episode, Mike told Cindy, he was like, hey, there's a high turnover in that area. He's like, I need to know who's there. Now we see them two talk later on, like a few scenes after this. She doesn't bring it up. She should say, hey, these are the people that are on that cell block there, blah, 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 blah. When she says Merle, boom, a light bulb's gonna go off in his head, and he's gonna know. Like, how close is he to him? Oh, he's in the cell right next to him.
What is he gonna do? Like, you gotta move him.
Yeah, definitely gotta move. He's gonna have to say something because he knows it's gonna be trouble. But that's the one little loose end I feel this show has, because I just think that that's something someone would share. If I'm Kyle, okay, I've just got banged up, refused to go to infirmary because of whatever, don't want to look weak, or I'm still not sure why he doesn't want to go there or even get treatment. But anyway, if someone is providing stuff to me and I'm there and your brother talking to me, it's like, hey, so what's going on? Shit, I'm all banged up, but somebody's giving me some pills. I'm sure it's not good for me, but it's helping with the pain. What kind of pills you take? I don't know. It doesn't say Tylenol. It's definitely something strong. Well, who is it? I don't know. Boom. Okay, that's enough for Mike then to go ask Cindy, hey, who's in the cell next to my brother? He's providing pills.
But of course, he's kind of like, because he doesn't take the pills until later in the episode. But at this point right now, he's kind of just battling his own mental capacity.
Well, I think at that point
to his will
he took one pill. I think at that point.
Not yet.
No, you sure?
Yeah, it was. No,
but he just popped one because they show him like in pain. He's like, oh, and then he's like, all right, fine.
He takes one before he takes a shower.
Yeah, he takes one before he takes a shower.
Yeah, so it wasn't in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. And then Cindy.
It showed him just like a lot of pain because like he's just kind of. It's bad, but
he got banged up.
Yeah, so Mike just tells him to stay the course. We'll get through this together. The next scene, we have Frank Moses with Bunny. They're by the rail yard, the trains and everything. And Frank is basically explaining his situation to him. He's like, look, we get all this junk from Canada basically coming in here. We basically take all the junk out of there as if we're taking it to the junkyard. And this is the way we're able to, bring our drugs from place to place.
Well, that's how he's moving it, and it makes sense because he was like, hey, they don't check. They're not checking the garbage. The garbage is under the radar at this point. They're like, oh, okay, well, that's garbage. No one cares. So it's an easy way to move things. So now we know how he plans on moving the product, around. And he even shows proof, which is odd. I didn't know he was already in the drug game. I knew he was pushing other things, but if that's the case, then why do you need Bunny?
Maybe
a different supplier, what I mean? Like that. I thought that was the whole
people to buy. I don't know.
Because that's why I'm surprised when he opened up the case and then he showed like.
That's why I didn't trust him, because I'm like, what does he need him for if he has?
What does he need? And again, this is what I was telling everybody in the comments. I still think that Frank is the one behind all of this.
Unless like what else does Bunny sell? Is there something that Bunny sells that maybe Frank doesn't sell yet?
Nope.
Is it weapons? Is
Nope. Because he was buying guns to go against the Russians in the last season, so he doesn't have that. And then we see later on, of course, with Frank, he has his own distributor for weapons as well.
Well, they open up a crate like within all the garbage, and it's a black crate. They open up in front of Bunny, and we could just see some like drug packaging. And so Bunny is like, okay, I see this. He goes, but I need to know what's going on. I want to know who's the head of this. Like, I want to know. He wants to know every point of this. And he's like, I see how you do imports, but what about the exports? Like, what else is going on? And
it's gonna get there, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him. It's too nice. None of this makes sense. That this guy that comes on, think about it, he has all the connects. He's got the manpower. He's got the infrastructure of moving the trains and moving the drugs through the garbage. You have it. You have everything. Why do you need Bunny? And then and at first I was thinking, oh, maybe it's for the prison, right? So that way he can push product through the prison, whatever. No, because it also sounds like we get into it later, and it's within the whole conversation because there's a lot of back and forth with them in the car. It's like he wants him to move on from this. Like he's trying to say that you're evolving.
I can't read it. Like I can't tell if like because 1 minute we feel like Frank probably has some ulterior motive. I mean, I feel like he does, but then they'll have him talking with one of his friends, and then we're hearing this, and he seems to be like happy with or pleased to be working with Bunny. So it's like I can't really gauge it right now. Maybe they could be genuinely working together, but then what's the aspect of this as far as the plot? You know,
I don't know, man.
I obviously it's gonna boil up at some point, but all right. So then we get Mike. He's near like a park or something by the water. He meets up with Cindy, and she's like, "Hey, look, like I'm gonna see." I don't think we have a picture of it, but she's like, "I'm gonna see your brother every day. Like, what do you need me to do?" And he's like, "No, just don't worry. Just do your job, collect your checks, go back to your kids. Like, that's it. It's like you don't have to do anything else."
What was it? It was a great line. It was like 8 to the gate. Remember, 8 to the gate.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, that's cool. I gotta remember that. I'll say that too. 8 to the gate. No gate near me, but it sounds cool anyway.
And she's hearing this. I mean, I think in her heart, she's feeling bad for him and feeling bad for the whole situation. She wants to kind of look out.
All the ladies on this show feel bad for Mike. It's his face. He still, even though he's an older guy, he just has that young boy, like, oh, woe is me type of look. Like something about it. He always looks sad. And she said, "Are you okay? Really? Like, I mean, do you care? You just met this guy and he gave you a job to do, and he's not paying you. But you're worried about how he's doing." Like,
he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry for any upset," and he just walks away. She's like, "All right."
Yeah, it's all right.
Then we get guys, Bunny's guys on the corner. They're making deals, getting drugs, this and that. They're like at the street corner that is in Bunny's territory. And at first I was like, okay, why are we seeing this right now? I mean, like this is like the ins and outs of his business, right?
Yep. Somebody's watching them.
But
see
then,
somebody in the car.
we see two guys watching them in the car. They have guns.
Yeah.
Then where you cut back to the prison, Kyle is in pain still, obviously, and he takes the drugs. He takes the drugs that Merle had given him, and he didn't take them before, right? So
no,
he looks at it, he ponders it, and then he takes them.
Again, it's like, can't you tell if all the guards, besides the one that we'll find out later on, that's on the smoke break with Cindy, everybody else seems to be on the same page that Kyle is on the up and up. He's a good guy, and they see what he's doing. Help him out. Can't somebody smuggle in some meds from the infirmary since he doesn't want to go to the infirmary? Can't Cindy pull? Well, she's green. She's new. Probably doesn't have access to all that. But some of the other guards, we know there's some other guards.
Mike could easily probably give it to some of the guards or do something.
Yeah, it's like, hey, take care of him, figure something out. Maybe he needs some painkillers, get him some
Merle could do it. I'm
something.
sure they could.
Exactly. Merle, well, Merle and his people, they're smuggling all kinds of stuff.
And it's funny because as Kyle is taking the drugs, Merle's just like reading in the next cell over. And then like I don't know if you could directly hear him doing anything, but he just like stops and like listens and then like continues doing what he's doing.
Because he stops hearing the moaning. Because I'm assuming that there's like a lot of whenever he moves, Kyle moves, it's like he's in pain, and then it stops. So he's assuming he's like, he must have took the pills and now it's kicking in. Maybe it's like morphine or something like that. I remember when I got hit by a van and they put the metal bar on my arm and I had like big codeine pills. I mean, they're like horse pills. And he said, only take this when the pain is really bad. And man, when they took that, my whole body went numb. So it seems like he's taking something like that because as we get later on when he's talking, he's like almost slurring. He's getting to that point. He's like
strong painkiller.
Yeah.
So Bunny's still talking with Frank Moses again about the whole thing about being cautious, wondering who's in charge of what. He wants to meet everybody a part of the operation. And then he gets a call. And he's like, what's going on? What happened with those young guys? No, that's my corner. What? And he's all pissed, and he doesn't directly know what's going on, so he hangs up the phone. We're kind of like, what's happening? We're assuming it has something to do with those kids at the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Stevie and Ian. They're at they're at Anchor Bay, and they're talking with what's his name, Torres, right?
Yeah.
And Torres is like, oh, so like, what else did you find? Like, what happened with Carney? Like, how did he die? Like, what were the details of it? And they're just like, oh, what does you need? Like, what do you want from this? Like, what are you trying to find out? And they're like, where's his locker? So he brings them over to the locker. They break the locker open, and they start taking out his stuff. They find drugs in his boots.
Drugs in the boots. So they think, we're just bringing them now. They think that it was planted. They just can't imagine that he's either doing drugs or selling drugs or some. What do you think?
Maybe he had to deal with some of the inmates, and maybe he was giving drugs to some of the inmates.
We've never seen that. We've never seen it.
Know.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they planted on him so that and then think it was some kind of gang activity and just kind of ignore it.
Yeah.
Well, who would have the access to that? Will be
because that's something that we get. I think a few scenes after this with Mike, Stevie, and Ian at the bar, and they start talking about, hey, something else is going on because they talk about the drugs, right? We'll get to that.
So, but they also brought it up. They're like, "What's up with that guy, that Torres guy? Like, he's fishing for info." Like,
of course.
So they bag everything up. Then we cut to a bunch of kids in a project housing, I believe, just like hanging out. And then they come out and they just see, like a food delivery bag, and they're like, "Oh, yo, that's your food. Like, go check it out. Like, what could it be?" And he's like, "Nah, you check it out." So they're all kind of like looking over it, and then one of the kids is like, "All right," and he opens it up, and it's just a bunch of like body parts, all just bloody. So they all scream.
I wouldn't open up a bag like that. If I see it that far away, first of all, if it's a food bag that's dumped on the curb like that, I'm not looking in that. I'm not looking in it. I definitely, it's not going to be some, Chick-fil-A or something like that. No one's leaving their food out like that. So, but hey, he finds body parts and he's sick. He's throwing up. Understandable.
Mike calls Bunny and he's like, "Look, I need to know if you know anything about what happened with Carney, or if did Carney have any involvement with someone that wanted to, get him? Because now my brother's kind of left to his own devices." And Bunny understands this. He's like, "All right, yeah, your brother. Like, I know you're looking down." And he goes, "Look, I got a guard on the inside, which is Kevin." He's like, "I got a guard on the inside." And Mike's like, "Well, why didn't you leave with that? Like, set me up. I needed time to talk with him." And he's like, "I got you." And then
this whole time he's still hanging out. Bunny's still hanging out with Frank. This has been a whole day hanging out with Frank over here.
And Frank's looking at him and he's like, "Oh, you're in the prison game still?" And he's like, "Yeah."
He knows
like,
he's still in
outside. Yeah, but he was like, "You're still in the game." He goes, "Isn't that full of grief?" He's like, "Don't you want to change up? Like right now, like you're rebranding, you're changing everything. So maybe you want to step away from that."
It's a prison town. This is it. He said it's the corporation. This is how it works. This is how his business worked, where he would get drugs in and out of the prison and do stuff. I mean, this has been his whole operation. Again, I don't know why Frank is trying to pull Bunny in if everything that Bunny can offer, Frank doesn't care about. He doesn't care about the prison. Doesn't care about Kingstown, right? Because he's talking about, takes him out of the town, right? He says, "Come on, let's go see other areas of Michigan."
Is he his dad? Like, is there some kind of like?
No, he's not his dad.
Like, what I mean, like, is a lost uncle or something? Like,
that would be funny. He was like,
I'm trying to say, like,
he's like, "All right, now I want to show you some pictures," and he's like, "Is that mom?" Yeah.
Because he's admiring him. He's like, "Oh, you're such a bright young man, this and that."
Yeah, it's too much.
It's a little weird. So
all of this, this guy came out of nowhere just with gifts in hand. And he was like, "Hey, I'm here to be your bud. I'm gonna change your life." Why? There's no answers yet. That's why I feel he is going to be the worst of the worst for this show.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm.
So then Mike meets up with the guys, Ian and Stevie, and they're like, look, this is what we found. Carney had a burner phone, bunch of numbers on it, and we found hash in his boot. And Mike's not buying. He's like, "What, you think Carney was hiding that he was a dirty cop this whole time? Like, come on." And he's like, "Well, there was the Torres guy. He was fishing for info." And it's like, well, Torres could be a pawn in this whole thing, or someone else is pulling the strings with him. And they're like, what are you saying? The warden's behind it? And he goes,
Too
well,
soon.
it could be, but like let's give it that whoever did this is by chance messing with me and messing with my brother. So, they think they wrapped it up on a bow, but give me some time to figure this out.
Yeah, I still can't put Hobbs in all this. Not yet. Too soon. But if it is, then man, not much of a surprise. Because a lot of people, hey, John Lee and them, a lot of people think that it all points to the warden. Warden's pulling all the strings, and you just brought up maybe it's some kind of extortion thing going
I think
on with
so.
the Columbians.
I think so.
They're
Once we see what
forcing-
happens later with her,
Yeah.
I think so, because she seems rattled. Evelyn is walking. I don't know where she's at in this point. She's walking somewhere.
She's at the courthouse.
Oh, courthouse. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
She's
it looks like
walking
it's
to
the
the courthouse.
courthouse.
And she turns around and she sees Robert. She's like, "What are you following me?" He's like, "No, I'm just here." She's like, "Well, so we just happen to be here at the same time? What a coincidence!" And then he's all pissed at her. He's like, like don't come at me with that. She's like, "What, are you threatening me?" He goes, "No, you just don't know what troubles are." He's like, "You don't know anything." And she goes, "Well, at least you're free to walk in public, but Kyle can't. Like, you're free to be with your family. Like, how's that going out? How's that going for you?" So I guess she knows that him is.
Yeah, the wife took the kids and went to her mom's. So she knows something's going on.
So she's like, seek help.
You're not the boss of me. You don't tell me to seek help. But yeah, she stumps him. She has a mic drop moment because he can't reply back. Right?
Yeah.
For a few of those lines, he's just like staring at her like, "Duh."
What's going on with him this episode? Though? Like, why is he following her?
He's upset and he wants to confront her. He blames her for a lot of this stuff that's going on. And as we saw from the last episode,
she's already on. She's hot on his case,
It's still that idea that maybe he can put pressure on her. He doesn't know her and how she handles things. And as you see, she's not going to back down. And I also don't think he knows that she knows all the inner dirt and drama within the KPD. She knows it all. She has all the footage. She has all that stuff that we saw in the last episode of Ian and everything that went down.
She's just holding on to keep.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Robert knows all this. So he figured, hey, I'll follow her. I'll scare her a little bit, see if she could back down. Maybe she could change things because she's snooping around. Remember, her whole thing is to get him. She wants to bring him
just
down.
has it out for him.
Has it out for
and
him.
Ian.
And Ian. So maybe if he can put some pressure, this will steer her away from him. She's like, okay, I'm sorry. That's not how she rolls. Not going to happen. No.
So then Ian calls Mike and he goes, "Hey, have you seen Bunny lately?" Mike's like, "Why? What's up?" And he goes, "Well, we found some of his guys. I mean, at least parts of his guys." What? So of course Mike pulls up. I think we have an image of them. He pulls up and he's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, he's
finding body parts.
Right? They're finding body parts everywhere.
Body parts all over the place.
We get LJ, guy. I guess it's Frank's friend. His name is LJ. And he's talking to Bunny about he's talking to Frank about Bunny. And he's like, how do you feel about this? Like working with him and stuff like that. Like, you think you can handle everything that you got? And he goes, well, he's a bright young man. Like, I think he has a lot going for him. But I mean, this is still the honeymoon phase. So let's see what he can handle.
Yeah, see, so I can understand what you were getting at from hearing this scene. It makes it seem like he's still on the up and up. Like, oh yeah, he really does want to work with him. If anything, this would be the scene where it's like, so do you think we can sucker him now? It's like, oh, we're getting there.
That's what I think. I was like, why would we have like dialogue between two friends that are away from him but still complimenting him? Unless they throw us off.
Well, they don't know we're watching unless they break the fourth
one
and they look at the camera. What do you think? Whoa!
No, but as the writers to throw us off because they're thinking like, okay, they're trying to build his trust with, you're right.
Well, he brings that up later too. Yeah. But
he's trying to build his trust. That's the whole thing.
I don't trust him. He's not building my trust.
So Mike shows up to the crime scene. Ian's like, yeah, there's bodies everywhere. It's almost like a manhunt, like a game of just finding body parts of these guys everywhere. Because we find everything we just don't have the torso and the heads are missing. And then Mike's like, well, the Columbians did this. The cartel is behind this. And then he's like, what about that guy that you guys released before? And they're like, oh, him? No, he's He's mostly a home cat. Like he's not going anywhere. We've
Uh,
been following him to the diner and like
yeah,
clearly
we
not.
didn't. Yeah, we found him to the diner, and then we took a nap, and then that's
He
when he
went and
snuck
killed
out and
Carney.
killed Carney. And then he came back. They woke up, and like, oh, he waved from the window. Hi, you know. They did some bang up job right there following this guy.
But Bunny's still pissed about this whole thing. He's in the car with Frank again, and Frank's like, he's looking out the window. Bunny's looking out the window too, and he's like, it's been a while since I've been out the hood. And Frank looks over and goes, "Well, travel changes perspectives. There's a big world out there, D. Like,
Exactly.
you could go out there with your family. You could gather your profits. You could."
Have you ever been to Newark, New Jersey? It's like, I don't. Just really, because this dude is out.
Have you ever been outside before?
Yeah, he made it seem. He said it's been a long time since he left. But he hasn't really had a reason to leave. That's his operation, and that's the other thing. We don't see a second in command. I could have sworn season 1 we saw that he had a second in command, but we don't see that. So who's running the operation? Somebody's calling him, telling him all this stuff that's going on. But I know.
Well, then Mike calls him again, and he goes, "Yo, the cartel killed most of your guys."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Tell
he
Moses
killed the corner boys. Yep, the street corner boys. Yep.
Yeah. Tell Moses we need to meet up and show him how this town really works." And then he hangs up the phone. He's like, "Oh man, the Columbians hit some of my boys." And then Mike pulls up to the spot.
They're coming. See that? The cops. They're going out there to go save somebody.
The mayor of Brooklyn is here to get me.
There we go.
The mayor of Brooklyn would be a cool show. That'd be
the mayor of Brooklyn. I'm sure we'll get that.
I
knew somebody who ran for mayor of Brooklyn. Didn't work out, but he tried. He had like 2% or some shit. I don't know. He tried. Well, this is what keyword. Go ahead.
Well, Mike pulls up to the corner where those kids were selling earlier, and now that the corner is vacant, you got one of the Aryan guys just sitting in the car.
Not even like, I didn't want to say 24 hours. It feels like not even 10 hours. Because wasn't there still like crime scene tape further down? And this dude's already, he's like, there was nobody here. It's okay. He starts punching it.
Mike shoots at the car. He pulls him out.
Yeah. Oh, man. Again, it's always funny when Mike shows up to any crime scene like we saw earlier, and then just waves him and then opens, lifts up the crime tape. Just give the guy a badge already. So, sort of like when later on when Hobbs says, have you been deputized? Do it already.
That's the funny aspect of the show, is like where he's just a dude, I guess, just showing up and doing this stuff. Like, it's just funny. Yeah. It just shows the connections. Really, it just pushes you.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets him out of there.
Yeah, I mean, he just gets him to go.
So then, Mike shows up at Robert's house, and he's like, "Yo, like, stop stalking Evelyn. Like, you need to cut it out. Like, you're drawing a lot of attention to yourself. Like, just stay here. Just stay put." And he's like, "All right, well, if you're gonna go to the funeral or wherever, give Carney's dad my condolences. I can't see him." And then he says some snarky stuff. He's like, my brother's. Mike's like, "My brother's in jail because of you." And Mike's like, "No, he did that to himself." Like, Robert's like, he did that to himself.
Talking all this smack about Kyle. I was waiting for Mike to punch him. So,
yeah,
I already beat the shit out of one dude. I could start with another. It hasn't even been into the late afternoon, and he's already bucking shots and finding body parts and fighting it out. I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is one of the darkest shows you can watch on the telly right now, because there's no happy moments. There's none of those like fluff moments. Like, all right, they're gonna go to the party, everyone celebrate, yay! That one. There's always that one happy storyline. In every show, there's always one. Not in this. Everybody's having a bad day every day.
At least they're chilling at a bar, though. But Kyle is taking a shower. He seems like he's on that drug that he was taking. He just seems out of it. His ribs are bruised. You see the bruising. There's a guard standing in front. Cindy walks past. She's looking over at him. She looks at the guard.
She gives him a wink. No, she doesn't.
She's kind of just keeping an eye on Kyle. So then Mike meets with Bunny and Frank. They're in Frank's office. And he's like, "Look, we need to have a legitimate play right now. Like, you need to show your hand, because right now it's not looking good, Bunny. Like, if people are taking out your guys like this, it's making us look bad, because we have to fight back." and
Oh,
then
yeah,
and
we
then
got it.
yeah.
In Kingstown of late?
Hey, it's my people they chopped up.
Your people?
Yeah.
They ain't no mine and yours no more, D. They all people. Cause you cut, I bleed. You hurt, I vanish. We are partners and we go both earn as partners, but let me address this. Let me show you a different kind of value.
He's too nice. Look at that. Not only is he supplying and doing all this other stuff, he's like, hey, you got problems? I can get my hands dirty too. I'll take care.
He just pushed him into the business completely himself. Like he's like,
Oh,
this is my people
man.
now. Like,
Yeah.
your
cut,
team is
I
my
bleed.
team now.
We're like the Crimson Twins from G.I. Joe. Remember that? I don't know if you remember that. Might be before your time. You punch one brother, the other one feels it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is like unless Moses is just trying to get so into his trust, into Bunny's trust, into Bunny's corner, into Bunny's people, that he almost just takes over Bunny's business.
I feel, and people listening out there or watching this can relate. We've all met somebody who has tried to get very close to you very quickly, right? Everybody's met somebody, whether it's for a relationship or friendship, whatever. And it's like,
It happens to me all the time.
It happens, yeah, exactly, all the time. Everybody wants to be around you, Josh.
I work at a recording studio.
Yeah.
No, I work at a recording studio. I work with a lot of artists and singers and stuff. And I get people all the time like trying to hang out with me and stuff, and then asking if they could get deals. Or,
studios. See, there you go. There's always a motive.
It's like, do you actually want to? You don't want to hang out with me?
No, they don't. They want studio time, man. That's why I hang out with you, and you still haven't given me the studio time. But you know what? That's the way it is.
You got your own studio.
I know, but still, you forced my hand. You forced my hand due to this. So, but that's what I'm saying. It's like there's got to be something in exchange for all this. What is it? And we don't know. We don't know. And I'm waiting for him to say, "It's your life." What? And you know, that's it, Bunny. You're a dead bunny. You're a dead rabbit.
So then we get Cindy outside smoking a cigarette, and we get Officer Breen come over.
Nice.
And then
we'll get this.
Back a little bit.
Yeah, there we go.
And he's just like, man, that guy died. You know, it's crazy. Just making small talk.
Yeah.
Just smoking. And she's like, you've seen a lot of that here? And he's like, back in another prison, I saw one of the officers got under a bunch of people and they destroyed him. It was nothing but like bones and stuff. He kind of looked like a dead puppet. And he's like, how long you been on the job? She's like, I'm just 3 weeks out of training. He's like, damn, you've seen a lot of it. He goes, look, I've been here 10 years. You got to stay away from the crooked cops. You know, they do bad times. They all make us look bad, and they bring things onto us. Look what happened to Carney. Don't take any crap off them. So he's warning her.
Well, he was referring to Kyle as a crooked cop. That was the crazy part because she said, well, that's not what Carney, said this whole thing. And he's like, whatever.
Well, I think he knows that Carney had the influence of other people outside the prison. So I think
I don't trust this guy. I don't remember him. I think that just like how he said he came from another prison.
Maybe 10 years. Maybe they're saying he's just a cop that's observing this, because obviously you have people observing that other people are making deals and doing all this stuff. He's just kind of just on the inside, like, I'm not getting a part of that. Look what happens. So he's warning her, like, don't talk.
They're not cops, but
I'm sorry. But don't talk to Mike. Don't talk to anybody. Like, kind of saying like, don't take deals. Don't.
So you think he's a nice guy just looking out for her? That's what you're getting from this?
Not that he's a nice guy. I think he's just working his job and just being like, yo, like, don't be another one of those.
I mean, at this point, I feel everybody on this show is corrupt, and I don't trust any of them except Tracy. And that's pretty much it. Tracy and Baby Mitch. Those are the only two that I think are not corrupt and have a hidden agenda. Either this guy is trying to get into Cindy's pants, or he is on the inside as well. And he's trying to steer her away so that way she can look the other way when he does something horrible to Kyle. There's something else is going on.
I'm gonna go if he's an observer. He's just letting her know that like this job could don't go down a bad path, and because he's been there 10 years. So what is it? You know what I mean? You haven't seen him.
Put in the comments, dude. Does anybody else remember this guy? I don't remember this guy. But hey, you said 10 years. He said 10 years. Well,
He's
that is a
under the
point.
radar. He's just working it because it's not everybody that's working here is corrupt. So, but you can make your observations.
I don't trust anybody.
You know, we all have that one employee that like we probably don't trust too much. So he's, but but Kevin is in his car, the guard Kevin, and Mike pulls up next to him. So they're talking from car to car with their windows open. And he's like, Bunny, go over our deal. And Mike's like, yeah, yes, sir. Keep an eye on your brother. And Mike's like, okay, anything out of the ordinary, you call me up. When I call you, you pick up. And he's like, yes, sir. I'll try my best. He was like, try your best. All right. This isn't high school. Okay. I'm your friend until I'm not. So
I should have made this an audio.
He's like,
clip
what is it now?
like,
Like, why are you so sad?
You look like you're gonna cry something. What's going? Because he does. He puts his face down. He's like, well, is this how Carney died? You know,
what got Carney killed?
Yeah, I don't want to die.
And then Mike pauses. He's like, one has nothing to do with the other, right? Like,
exactly.
You look after me, I look after you. And he's like, yes, sir. All right. Simple as that. Keep you safe.
Oh, well, we already know that Kevin is showing his loyalties toward Bunny, because if I was expecting the next scene after this is Kevin having a meeting with Hobbs, because remember, Hobbs gave him that whole speech about your work for me in here and outside. And I thought we were going to see this.
He seems nervous. He seems like he doesn't want to be in this position right now.
Who would? Nobody would. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure. He's got Bunny putting pressure. He's got like the mayor putting pressure. He's got the governor putting pressure. I mean, not the warden. You know, who knows? Maybe he's the one that planted the drugs. Maybe he's working with. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot going on this show that can go in different directions.
So we get Kyle back in the cell. He crouches down he goes to like the little grate, and he's trying to talk to Merle. He's like, you good over there? And then Merle responds, living the dream, brother. And he goes, well, did I miss chow? I was in the shower. And he's like, no, friend, you haven't missed it. He goes, you've had a rough go of it these past few days. You know, you just got to keep. And then Kyle's agreeing. He's like, yeah, I just got to keep my head down. And you can tell he's a little drunk. He's slurring his words a little drugged. He's slurring his words. And then Merle's saying some wise stuff. He goes, well, you know, you gotta change with what's happening with you. You know, you're both the marble and the sculptor.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta shutter your substance. Heavy blows from the chisel and hammer.
There you go, and then keep popping them pills I'm giving you. Gotcha.
I was like, yeah, heavy blows.
Yeah, I wish at this point Kyle would have just said, so why are you in here? Because remember, this cell block is only for the worst of the worst. They put Kyle down here obviously because they want to keep him away from everyone else, right? Just ask him.
This reminds me of that scene from V for Vendetta when the girl's like in the prison cell and she's like talking to someone across, and then later on you find out that it was like the guy the whole time, and she was in like a fake cell. Like she just didn't ask too many questions. But so then Mike shows up at the prison.
That's coming up now. Remember, you know. Oh, we passed it the 5th of November. We missed
5th of November.
Oh, man, we
that would have been
cool.
day.
Yeah, we should have did it yesterday. See?
Mike shows up. He wants to see the warden. The guy at the glass is like, "Do you have an appointment?" He goes, "Call Torres and tell him to come down here. Tell him that Mike McCluskey's here." So Torres comes, leads him into the room. The warden is there, and she's like, "Your brother is safe. Okay, so like, what else can I do for you? What else do you need?" And he was like, "Well, not really. Like, look what happened to Carney." She was like, "Well, Carney was a good CO, and I'm sorry to hear about his passing, but it has nothing to do with my prison. It's like his passing. Boy. I wouldn't qualify that as passing." She goes, he's like, "This has nothing to do with the prison." He's like, "This has nothing to do with Anchor."
Oh boy.
He's like, "Well, we're gonna find out what's going on. The detectives are on this. We're gonna turn over every stone." She's like, "Okay." And he's like,
and
"Look."
And I'm just saying that's the reason why he had this meeting, because remember, he said, I'm just going to tell them that the investigation is ongoing, because in that way this gives more time, and then maybe this can cause more chaos. So just more moving pieces. They need to see more of what's happening here. And if she is corrupt, then maybe she'll start making some crazy moves. So then that's why he wanted to let her know. They're not just saying, oh, there's a death, because he said after that, he says, whatever happens outside prison also relates to what's happening inside the prison. And he wants to offer that help in exchange for more time with his brother.
Yeah. He goes, look, I'm not deputized. She's like, well, can you find the point here, please? He's like, things are going south outside, which means that things are going to go south inside. She goes, no, my prison is secure. He goes, your prison is far from secure. So she's like, well, you want something exchanged to be with, time with your brother? Is that the thing? So he goes, look, I'm going to help, things run smoother. She goes, well, look, it seems like you have access, whether it's from me or not, when it comes to your brother. So he's like, we don't have to be adversaries. She's like, no one said we were.
Jeez, with a straight face. Oh, I don't trust it. And he realizes it. He's looking at her and he's like, she's being a prick. This is what's going on now. Now he knows who he's dealing with.
Exactly.
She's not gonna help.
She's like, as long as we understand each other, we don't have a problem. And he goes, yeah, I think we understand each other.
Yeah.
And he leaves. Then we get Robert drunk at a bar. Ian walks in. I don't know what the correlation of this. It's setting this up for the next episode, I guess. But he's wasted. He's yelling at the bartender for holding back his hand, I guess, on the shots. Ian's like, "Let's get you home." They get.
Oh, it's still early. That's what he was saying. When he showed up, and we could see. Like, so I'm assuming it's around noon. He was like, "It's a little early for this." I was like, it depends on what part of the world, right? It's like
Robert's going off about Evelyn. He's going off about Mike and Kyle and what he's done for the McCluskeys. And they leave the bar and they go into his car. I guess because Robert's truck got into an accident, so they're in like a rental.
Yeah.
So they go back to his house. He gets into his house, and then Robert goes over to his home bar and grabs more drinks and pours himself something. And then you see Ian go over to he has I guess Robert had a gun on the table, so he puts that in his pocket for a second. I think he put it on top of the fridge, or he put something on top of the fridge.
He took it away. He hid it. It was something like that. But which makes sense. It's like if someone's down in their luck and they're drinking, family left, because he also confirms Patty took the kids to the moms, right? So things aren't great. You don't want them to do something stupid, especially with a loaded gun in the house. So he just took it, probably put it somewhere in the house. I don't know if he took it with him when he left. But my thing is, this was a pretty long scene from going to the bar, getting into the rental car, going to the house, showing the car get put in the garage. You instantly thought he was going to gas him or something. Right? You're like,
something was going to happen.
Right? Yeah. Then brings him into the house, puts him on the couch, goes into the kitchen, says, gets him some water. I'm thinking now, we didn't see if he put anything in the water. Yeah. I'm assuming that maybe he put something in the water to put him to sleep, to rest, to just sleep it off, whatever. Because water is not going to do anything.
But I feel like that would just put him in the hot seat even more if he takes out Robert. You know what I mean?
No. I don't think to kill Robert. I don't think to kill Robert, but I think just to knock him out. Yeah, just so he can sleep it off because he's been boozing. So maybe that's it. And then he just leaves. But even then, and he leaves through the garage, and you see they show the garage door closed. Why are you showing us all this? There's got to be a reason. Just like what we said with Cindy and showing her just taking her clothes off, changing her uniform. It wasn't to show a sexy time. No, it was to show that tattoo. So the same thing applies
or her
here.
Family, or how she just goes home.
I was waiting for them to show us somebody was watching him. That's the only thing I can think of. If it's not Ian trying to do something to Robert, then maybe someone.
I think it's just to show how Robert's kind of losing his mind with this whole thing. And how he's slowly becoming a loose cannon with everything. And now Ian having to take control of everything, including his own profession and keeping away from Evelyn. He has to, now he has to babysit Robert. So now it's becoming something even harder. And I think it's falling upon Ian right now to figure out how he's going to tie this all up. But
Ian's got his own problems.
That's what I'm saying. But this is a whole additional problem now that he's facing. Because if this guy goes and decides to spill his guts on everybody else to save himself, you know what I mean?
Oh, you think what, Robert?
So I'm just saying, he's in a bar drunk, running his mouth about the McCluskeys and running his mouth.
No, he definitely. I mean, if that's the case, then maybe he did get drugs right now and he's dead. Maybe, because think about it. Let's say we do know that Ian found drugs, right, from Carney's locker. Yeah. What if he took these drugs and then just put some of that in the water and hands it to him? And he drinks it, and then all of a sudden we find in the next episode, it's like, hey, did you hear what Robert? What? He died, overdosed on something. What?
He was so depressed.
Yeah, it was like, shoot, what the hell? That's so crazy.
So then we get Bunny and Frank Moses. They're overlooking the rail yard again, and Frank's like, the youngins you lost today, you're feeling that. It's like, rest in peace. He's like, it's been a minute since I lost someone dear.
Rest in pieces. Oh.
He goes, you feel no pain looking down from on high. You trust me yet? Bunny laughs. He's like, I trust you 60%. And he goes, right, that sounds about right. And then Bunny's like, what about you? He goes, well, the older you get, the faster you judge, and trust takes time. It's
so many one-liners.
It's offerings and sacrifices. I like that line.
He's full of them. I'm sure Lenny James, that's the actor playing Frank Moses, when he read the script, he's like, I have the best lines in this show. Look at all these amazing lines and one-liners that I'm making highlight reels right here. This is fantastic. But yeah, he's definitely, I don't trust him. And then even as this is all in one day, people. This is not multiple days and cuts and stuff. This is all in one day. He's already showed him the rail yard. He shows him how he transports drugs through the garbage. He also introduced him. We didn't bring it up, but he introduced him to his gun supplier, right?
Yeah.
So he got that. He said he's going to take care of
he's
the
really
issue
under his wing right now.
He's doing all this, and we don't know what he wants. And Bunny hasn't even asked. Why? If he can do all this on his own, he doesn't need Bunny. So
then we get Torres and Hobbs coming out of the jail, and she's like, is there something else that I need to worry about? And he goes, no, it's content for now. Like, I got it. And she's like, okay. And then she gets into the car and she's like shaking, and she grabs pills. We don't see the pills that she took, but she takes the pills. And then in her glove compartment, she takes out a gun and she puts it on the seat next to her. So that's what I'm saying. Like, she's worried about something.
It's everything. This job is getting to her. She's putting on that strong face, which she has to. That's her job. She's a warden. But when she gets that alone time, she's popping those pills to calm down her nerves. She has a gun on the side because, she's on her way home, but she can get hit up at a red light.
I think she's connected to the cartel.
You think she's connected?
This feels like what was it? Ozark, like something from Ozark, like someone kind of watching over and making sure you got everything handled, and now you're panicking with the whole situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It could be that. It could be that, or she's just over ahead. And
I think Torres is the handler. I think he's a link between them and the cartel, and they're trying to take over Bunny's territory. That's why else would they kill those people on his big spot where he sells drugs?
I don't.
Or why else would they try to take him out as he's driving? And then why else would they take Carney out when he's asking questions and warning Hobbs about Torres? He went to Hobbs and was like, look, like, you should watch out about Torres. Like, I don't fully trust him. I would stay 50 feet away from him.
But also, Torres wasn't even hiding it. If you're going to have that type of conversation with that Colombian, if it's going to be like a business thing, then you do that in like one of the hallways or something. It was right there in the open.
You see, because how long he's worked there, he's observing about, like, you have to stay far away from these people. And he was thinking that maybe Torres was being stupid about it. But then I guess when he thought about it later, it's like, well, he must have been feeling safe and confident that he could stand that close to that guy.
Or we could say that Torres is realizing that she can't trust anybody, and she thinks that something's going on with Torres, and all this isn't a coincidence. She's only been there maybe 2 days now, and already, Carney's dead. The cop that got brought in got attacked, and now she's dealing with the mayor who's constantly coming over.
And it was like, what's the point of Torres being there all the time? Like, what's his deal?
We still don't know how Hobbs ended up in this prison. She made that one reference to Mike's like, I know you looked me up. Well, we know he didn't, and we didn't. So we need somebody. We need Rebecca, back at the office to look this up and say, hey, what's going on? What's her deal? How did she get this gig?
Yeah, well,
and we need some more dirt.
I don't trust him. Then Kyle's in the cell. He grabs behind his pillow and he finds another like little folded up paper with drugs in him. Way more pills.
It's Three Kings Day, and there you go. And someone a little pill, two fairy pill, Perry. Here we go.
Having a memorial, I guess, party at the bar. There's a picture of Carney's face on it, and Mike's at the bar. Cindy sits next to him, and she lifts the shot. And
No,
Mike said,
that's Evelyn. Wasn't Evelyn?
no, it wasn't Evelyn. It was Cindy.
Holy crap! Really?
Yeah, Cindy
Holy
comes up
shit,
to
wow.
sit next to him, and she's like, he's like to Carney, and she's like to Kyle. And
Oh
they take a
yeah,
shot.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
And then we got a car pull up right outside the trap house, I guess, that the Columbians had, that we saw that guy go to in the previous episode where they were watching him. And we see that there are Frank Moses's guys. One guy has a silencer, and the other guy has basically a flamethrower.
Flamethrower, bringing that back. I can't remember the last time I seen a flamethrower used in any kind of crime drama, any city environment. Usually it's seen just in war movies, right? Oh, we gotta clear the bunker.
Yeah,
or maybe the Running Man. It was a Buzzkill. I think that's what his name, and he had the flamethrower.
They show the Colombian guys cleaning out the bathtub where you could see that they had the bone saws and stuff. So they were the ones chopping up the bodies that were Bunny's guys. And so Moses's guys walk in. They start shooting the guys with the silencers. They're pretty much wiping out like most of the people. The hitman guy that's upstairs, he got some people out, and they all leave through the back. And the guy with the flamethrower, he's really just trying to burn the whole place up. He's doing pretty good. And they walk out as if they did the job, and they're heading towards the car. And the hitman guy comes out. He shoots the guy with the silencer in the back. And then before the guy with the flamethrower could turn around, he shoots the flamethrower itself, the canister.
Yeah, the canister.
And that ignites, and he's on fire, just burning, dead. And the guy walks off, and that's how the episode ends.
He's a pro. This is a pro hitman, and they're bringing that up even from the beginning of this episode when they talk about when Mike was talking to Kyle. It's like, how did that? It's like 2 to the chest, 1 to the head.
It's funny because he seems so amateur in the way that they try to attack Bunny, because the way that they captured him in the last episode was just like, you know what I mean? It seemed like,
but they couldn't hold him. Remember, there's no proof that he was the one shooting.
Yeah,
he was just in the car. So maybe that was the whole thing. He wasn't the one shooting, or at least they couldn't pin him as one of the shooters. Just somebody was in the car.
I feel like they arrest people for less, so they definitely could have kept him probably.
Well, yeah, but the whole point was to see where he would go.
Yeah,
because they were like, he's working for somebody, so let's just keep an eye on him, which they're doing a horrible job. Because again, if someone was watching him, then the cops would have rolled in. It's like, oh, dude, the guy showed up with a flamethrower. Now, no, none of that happened here. So clearly, nobody is watching him. Yeah, they're too busy at the bar for Carney. Everybody's celebrating in memory of Carney, and there's nobody protecting the streets of Kingstown.
Nope.
No, and there you go. That's how this one ended. What did you think so far? So far with this season and this episode?
I'm liking it. I mean, right now this episode, I don't want to say like it's a slow burn just to fill up all the episodes. Everything's leading to something. I feel like they could fill in just a little bit more action in certain points. But I mean, I'm loving it. It's really clever writing as far as what I'm concerned about, and I'm not leaving any episode. I'm not watching the episode feeling like I could watch something else. That kind of feeling. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this. What about you?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. This is a traditional form. It's 10 episode season, so there are some episodes where they're just doing more character building and progressing the story, not so much with the action, but it leaves a bunch of questions. Like right now with the Ian and Robert, that was a long scene. What was the point? I feel we're going to get to that. What's going to be the retribution from Frank once he finds out about his guys dying, from the Columbians' hands, and where are the Columbians going to go? That was their spot. Now they're going to be on the run. Now the police are going to try to wrangle him up, because wasn't that the whole point? They're like, oh, he's was that house mouse or something like that? Stevie said.
I will say, with how big of a character Carney was in the show, I'm very surprised at how this episode kind of just glossed off his death just a little bit. I mean, I guess this is how the show is, with like how many people die on occasion in Kingston, but it just Kingstown, sorry. It just seems like, I don't know. It's just like it happened, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he died," and we're trying to figure this out. But it's like,
I mean, they're celebrating the final scene. Remember, all the cops over there celebrating.
How most shows they'll show like the whole like the bagpipes.
Oh no, that's not one of those. But he's not a cop. He's not a cop.
No, I don't know, but just more of a funeral, like to show the funeral and
give they haven't even had the funeral yet. I think it's still too soon. It's all within this. Yeah, if think about it, this is all still the same day. This is all the
Because
same.
Robert said earlier, like, oh, when you go to the funeral, like, give
Yeah,
him.
when it happens.
Oh,
I don't think it's happened yet. It's all within one day. This might as well, if you ever watch their show 24, they should have a clock, ticking down, because this is all still
Well, it
been
was all
within
one day.
day.
They had a picture of Carney at the bar, so it's like,
Well, somebody brought in a picture and says, "All right, come into the bar tonight, and we're
no,
gonna honor his
it's like
memory."
in celebration of him, and it has.
Yeah. I mean, somebody had a picture. They blew it up. They printed from Instagram.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Because most of the times when like a main character like that dies in this type of show, the next episode's like, oh man, like everyone's distraught about it and stuff. Like it seemed pretty much like, oh, he's dead. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but yeah, I liked it. It's progressing. It's getting interesting. I still put Frank as the person behind all of this. Maybe not so much with the Columbians, but I think he's definitely causing problems and will be the one that's going to be a problem for Bunny. I just he's too nice. He's too nice. He's trying to do all this stuff for Bunny, and I want to know what he gets from it. And I'm waiting for Bunny to say, "What do you get from it?" He's like, "Well, I get everything and your soul." He does like the evil laugh and stuff. But it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. Now that they have all this drama, and definitely curious about Hobbs and where that character is going, because like we just said, could be two things: one, she's super stressed and panicking, or two, she's in the pocket of the Columbians. But we need to know her backstory, and I hope somebody brings up, like, where did she come from? At some point, Mike, who likes to find out dirt on everybody and finds, hey, get me info on this, get info on Hobbs. Know her backstory. Find out. Yeah, exactly. What about Cindy? You know everybody in this town. No one moves to Kingstown because they want to just live in Kingstown. Why is she there? She's new to not just the job, but to the
I don't think she
community.
moved there. She's a single mother. She was probably already working there.
That's
That's why
he
she
should have
took this
asked
job, yeah.
what brings you. It seems like such a small community, and we've always seen in the prior episodes and seasons, everybody knows everybody. That's the whole thing, right? That's why the joke is like, hey, you're the mayor. Everybody knows he's the mayor. How do they all know? Small community.
I feel like she's a potential love interest for Mike.
No, never gonna happen. I don't. It's still Evelyn. I'm sure right now that they're on the outs because of the situation.
I think something's gonna happen to Evelyn.
I could see that. I could see Evelyn kicking the bucket.
But then with Ian and the Robert and the whole thing, I could see Robert killing her, and then Ian all pissed and trying to cover up, and then the bro keeps talking, and
then they get rid of Robert, and there you go.
Yeah.
2 for 1 deal. All right. Well, thanks again, people. If you made it this far, it's great. Like, subscribe, stick around. We'll be back for next week for episode 4. And as I mentioned, we're still doing Tulsa King. And by that time, I think the next episode, when it drops, we'll also have Landman. Because that's the crazy thing. All 3 of these shows are all on Sunday, all released on Sunday at the same time. So it's kind of wild. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot dropping. All right, but hey, it's something for everybody. Some people watch this, some people don't. They watch other shows. Doesn't matter. We also got the playlist. You can see all the other shows that we've covered. If you missed an episode of your own show, or you're just curious to see what we had to say about a certain episode, you can click on the playlist. You can find stuff. All right, everybody. It's been fun. Thank you, and peace. Have a good week.
Peace out, Cub Scouts.